Hello everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta, and we're going to do a deep dive on the figure to see if it's actually worth your money, or would you be better off buying something else. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, first things first, let's take a look at the packaging. Honestly, this is a beautiful box. I really like the color that they used. It pairs well with the blue and the gray. It's a beautiful box. And yeah, I really like how it turned out. So enough with the front, let's turn it around in the back. Of course, everything is basic. You know, SH Figuarts does the same thing with every other box. So nothing too special, but the coloring on it is really nice. So let's take a look at the bottom. On the side, it has a couple pictures, and on the top, you see a window. So everything is pretty basic, but if you're a collector that collects figures just to leave it in the box, I suggest you get this guy because it's beautiful. You know, that's all I can say about it. But luckily, I'm not that kind of collector, so let's go ahead and pop this guy open, get him out of there, and let's take a look at this figure to see if it's a hunk of crap, which I don't think it is, or if it's awesome. Alright, before we get started, just to let you guys know, I don't watch Dragon Ball Z, so I don't know nothing about anything. I just got this guy on Amazon because he was $27 and he looked really cool. So, just to let you guys know, that's that. Alright, now that we got him outside of the box, he looks really cool. I like the color of his hair, I like everything about it. But one thing I do have to complain about is the lack of accessories. I mean, he is the same price as Naruto, so I don't see why it comes with, you know, the bare minimum. But I do understand that Dragon Ball Z doesn't really have any weapons, but they do have power-ups, and I wish that they did come with it. But hey, I can't complain. He still looks pretty dope. Alright, now that we got him out of his plastic cage and into my hand, he feels really good. He feels a lot better than Naruto did. I think probably because it's, you know, my first Dragon Ball figure, but he feels really good. But enough with that. Let's see how his articulation holds up. Let's see if it's better than Naruto, or if it's good, or if it's bad. I don't know, we'll see. So we're gonna start off with the head to the bottom, and let's see how it goes from there. So as far as the head articulation, I'm kind of disappointed because he doesn't look up that far nor down, and his head tilts are there but not really, but he does look from side to side pretty well. Overall, SH Figuarts could have handled it a little bit better, mainly because of how the head sculpt is. His articulation is pretty limited, so that's kind of a downfall. So anyways, let's go down to the arms. His arms go up 90 degrees, just about. He has bicep swivels and double jointed elbows, which I like. And as far as the wrist, it turns around and goes up and down. So the articulation in the arm is pretty decent. However, the butterfly joints are hindered a little bit. They're not as great as SH Figuarts could have made it as well. And it goes against his big chest. Pause. But yeah, the butterfly joints aren't that great. So overall, the articulation in the arms are decent, but not as great as SH Figuarts could have made it. But just when I thought this figure was going to be a bust, the ab crunch is really great. I like how you can lift the top part up to get a little bit more range. So it goes forward pretty well, and it goes backward pretty well. So the ab crunch is really awesome. I like how they did it on this. So yeah, I think that's the best part about the figure, because the head and the arms, they're kind of decent, especially the head. The head is the weak point, but the ab crunch is really good. So let's go down to the legs and let's see how they do. So as far as the articulation in the legs, it goes backwards almost about 90 degrees, and it goes forward 90 degrees. And of course he has double jointed knees, which I like, but the ankle joints are not that great, and the toe hinges are pretty tight. So overall, it's pretty decent articulation. However, they don't make the splits that well, but overall it's pretty good. But overall, this figure, with all the articulation, it does pretty well. It's pretty decent. It gets into some nice posing. And yeah, as far as my first Dragon Ball Z figure, this is really nice, and I'm excited to get more Dragon Ball Z figures because this guy is dope, and I'm sure the rest of them are just as good, if not better. And yeah, so if you already have a lot of Dragon Ball Z figures, I suggest you piss? Really? You should pick this guy up because his faceplates are pretty... They're pretty good. But yeah, his faceplates are really good, and his posing is pretty pretty good as well. But yeah, like I said, if you're a seasoned collector, you should get this as well. And if you're new to collecting and you don't have any Dragon Ball Z figures, I suggest you pick this guy up because he's pretty cool. And so enough with all that talk, let's go ahead and go to the accessories and let's see how it holds up. And as far as the accessories, it comes with 4 extra faceplates and a couple of hands. Not as much as Naruto, but it gets the job done so you can get into some decent posing. But let's start off with the faceplates. They're done really well. Honestly, I really like the eyes. I like the paint on it. They're done really well. And so far, SH Figuarts has fumbled a bit, especially with the new Shikamaru. You know, it didn't look that great, but these ones look awesome. So yeah, decent sculpt work in the faces and the hands. Can't complain about it. Yeah, this is a decent figure, and I'm really excited, and I'm really glad that I got it. And yeah, so that's all I gotta say so far. So if you made it this far into the video, go ahead and give a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.